any base hit, Michael's going to score here.
Line into the corner, and that'll be an easy jog home for Michael Garcia.
Isn't it amazing how much better you feel after a Royals win? And especially a thorough win like we saw tonight over the Toronto Blue Jays, 4-1. Let's talk about it. But first, we got to be saying, hey, your boys in blue are victorious tonight, evening up the series 1-1 over the Blue Jays. So tomorrow, let's see if they can take another one against the Toronto Blue Jays. Welcome to the Royals recap. My name is Jacob Milham. I'm one half of the Royals Rundown podcast. Before we get into it, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, I know we tend to, what's the word? We tend to prioritize our Spotify listeners. You know, we enjoy hearing from y'all in the Q&As and in the polls and things like that. But right now I'm reaching out to you Apple Podcast listeners. We've been getting some review bombs on Apple Podcasts, unfortunately, and it is dragging down the podcast. If you want to help out the podcast, I would greatly appreciate it if you go leave a 4 or 5 star review on the podcast and just let your thoughts be heard over what you do and don't like about the podcast. It's okay if we ain't perfect. I ain't saying it's got to be 5 stars. Just be honest, be you. That's what I am on this podcast, and I expect the same from y'all. So without further ado, now let's talk about the game. So Cole Reagan's notching his second win of the year, lowering that ERA down to 3.44, still rebounding from that fluky Baltimore Orioles game that's just really kind of skewed his stats. But all in all, Cole Reagan's was very much in control tonight over the Toronto Blue Jays. 3 strikeouts, or excuse me, I was going to say 3-1 on the strikeouts to walk ratio. He had 9 strikeouts and 3 walks, only allowed 1 earned run across 6 2/3 innings. That is absolutely what you want. But I do have to say, the only thing that might have been better than Reagan's performance was how the bullpen came up behind him and just shut it down. John Schreiber, he continues to be an underrated member of this Royals bullpen, pitching 1 1/3 innings, no hits, 1 strikeout, lowering that ERA down to a measly 0.63. Absolutely love to see that. And then, of course, you need the general. James McArthur came in the bottom of the 9th to shut down the Toronto Blue Jays. 1 inning, 1 strikeout, no hits, no earned runs, getting his 7th save of the year. That was only game number 31 on the season, y'all, and James McArthur already has 7 saves. So that's a great sign for the young reliever, I would say, really carrying over the momentum that he had from the end of 2023 to the start of 2024. Also, another kudos to the team. Their 17th win in April, that's the most in Royals franchise history. Okay, this is a franchise that has been known for slow starts, and then they have to go and dig themselves out of a hole in the summer, or they just, remain in said hole until the next opening day. Now, the Kansas City Royals, they are sitting at 18-13, second in the AL Central as of this recording. And it's not, the Blue Jays aren't a great team right now. Their defense is stellar. Their pitching is stellar. The run production is what has been struggling, but they're still a 15-16 team. Like, they're not the Chicago White Sox or nothing out there. The Blue Jays are still a quality team to beat, and I'm hoping that they can go out on Wednesday and seal a series victory before heading back to Kansas City for a little R&R, a day off. Let's go ahead and look at who was producing in the lineup for the Royals tonight. Michael Garcia. Listen, I was tweeting about it or zeeting about it, whatever the hell we're calling it right now. Any hit that Michael Garcia was getting tonight was going to be off of pure willpower. That is just how his plate approach has been looking the past few games. He did record a hit. He did record a run off of a Bobby Witt Jr. double late in the game that really just set the Royals apart. Michael Garcia, he's He's not perfect right now. He's not doing stellar things at the top of the lineup, but I do think that he's finding some sort of a rhythm at the beginning of this lineup. Bobby Witt Jr. behind him had a great game, 2 hits, 1 RBI. He did get caught stealing in the 4th, which that was just a great throw from Alejandro Kirk. You have to tip your cap. Perfect placement. Good one hopper to the second baseman. So that's A-OK in my book. You always have the green light for Bobby Witt Jr. I didn't mention Michael Garcia. He got his 8th stolen base on the year, which is crazy to me. Okay, we don't talk about his speed enough. Well, maybe not his speed, but at least his aggressiveness on the base paths is a good weapon to have ahead of Bobby Witt Jr. Vinny Pasquantino, he was mere feet away from a home run. That would have been amazing, but he did get a double that scored Bobby Witt Jr. Got that 1 RBI. He is still looking solid in the 3-hole. Salvador Perez had just another great night from the captain. 2 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Okay, this guy is just doing great things, really having a solid April. And right now, he is on an MVP track. Okay, I'm sure Jeremy and I are going to talk about that a little bit more tomorrow night. But El Capitan is looking pretty nice. Michael Massey, he had a good game in his own right. 1 hit, 2 RBIs. Freddie Fermin, he did have 1 hit. That looked pretty good. He also had a walk. So that is exactly what you want to see from the backup catcher behind Salvador Perez. Salvi getting the start tonight at first base after what was it? The team medical personnel said that they wanted him at first base so he would continue moving around rather than being the DH. So they swapped Salvi and Pasquantino being DH, Salvi being first base. So that gave Freddie Fermin the start behind the dish. He is looking very nice behind the dish. Good framing, good call in the game for Cole Reagans. I do want to say that Cole Reagans' start tonight should earn Freddie Fermin some sort of credit. Let's go ahead and look at the bottom third of the lineup. Unfortunately, it is an absolute black hole right now. There's no other way to put it. 0 for 4 from MJ Melendez, 0 for 4 from Hunter Renfroe, and 0 for 3 with a strikeout from Kyle Isbell. I'm losing the MJ Melendez rose-colored glasses, y'all. I get it. We could talk about the barrels all we want, but none of the expected stats for Melendez or Renfroe are saying, hey, they should be doing better than they are right now. Okay, there is some unlucky balls in play, but overall there are issues that still are present and that they need to work on, or they need to take a step back and see what is going on. We've seen Melendez fall down to the 7-hole. We've seen Renfroe sitting in the bottom third of the lineup for most of this season. So that is absolutely not what you want to see from those two. Hunter Renfroe did have a great play gunning down the runner at second base for another outfield assist. So all in all, folks, this was a very solid, low-scoring game. Okay, Cole Reagans reaching 105 pitches was surprising. I do want to say he did exit today's game with an injury. He left the game with a left calf cramp. And joining us right now is Cole Reagans' interpreter to kind of explain, I guess, the pitcher's mindset after exiting with that calf cramp.
How does your leg feel today?
Feeling good.
So what happened to you? What happened?
Just crap.
Just a cramp?
Yeah, just crap.
So you told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better?
Bananas.
Yeah. Why bananas?
Monkeys never craps. Monkey never crap. Because a monkey every day bananas. 2.
So how many did you have today?
3. How about 3?
Oh yeah. So you no more cramp for you.
I need 3 banana because monkey never craps.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Arigato.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kawasaki, for that insight right there. All right, before we get on out of here, let's go ahead and run through those Spotify Q&A responses. If you are unaware, you can listen to us on Spotify, where you have access to our polls and Q&As, and after each episode, I will read your responses in the following episode. So Fistifer1775 says, Freddie Fermin has been listening to the podcast. He absolutely has. He's had a pretty good series against the Blue Jays so far. He had that homer on Monday night, and he got on base a couple of times Tuesday night. Couldn't ask for more from Freddie. Ginger620 says, it's a little frustrating knowing that we could have won with a better starter on the mound. However, it was harsh to have Bolin start in Toronto on an event night, so I won't blame him too much. Yeah, listen, Bolin, we were very hopeful that he would come in and have a quality start, or at least a good start. Doesn't need to be a quality start every time, but a good start against the Toronto Blue Jays. And unfortunately, that was not the case. If you want to hear more about that, you can go listen to the April 29th episode of the Royals Recap. That is going to do it for me, folks. Thank you very much for joining me on another episode. My name is Jacob Milham. Please tune in Thursday morning for our full-length episode with Jeremy Greco of the Royals Rundown podcast. And as always, go check out RoyalsReview.com for more great work over there. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, go Royals!